G'day, it's Simon at South OC Cars and Coffee. Hey, thanks so much for joining us. No James this morning. He's packing up from the SEMA show. He will be back next week, so I'm going to have to fumble my way through the exotics as I do. Great turnout this morning. We've got some really cool cars. Both exotics rows are full. Over my shoulder over here, we've got the new SLATE vehicle, which we'll talk about more in just a moment. Ton of classics, hot rods, you name it. And don't forget, if you're coming to South OC Cars and Coffee, please remember, respect our rules. No speeding, no revving, no burnouts. That includes on the streets of San Clemente and getting on and off those freeways. Let's go for a walk and check some stuff out. Very pretty 991.2 911 here. Really beautiful colour, and what I love, these HREs that have been colour coded to match the paint colour. You know, that was a thing back in the late 80s. I actually had a car with something similar, Momo wheels on it, and they actually colour coded them. It's nice seeing that kind of return as well. This era GT3 is absolutely pretty, and this colour, it's like a British racing green. I don't think this is Brewster green. It looks similar, but I think it's more the British racing green. It's got another name, I'm sure. It just looks great. Those wheels look absolutely amazing. Completely changed the look of this car. Okay, a couple of really cool cars here. First of all, GT3RS, built on the 718 platform, but so different from the other 718 Caymans, using the same 4-litre flat 6 that's used in the GT3RS, but of course, this thing's mid-engine, so some would say they're actually a little more fun to drive. I don't know what I would choose between a regular GT3 and a GT3RS. I really love the look of the car, especially this one. This colour is brilliant. All the exposed carbon up here, carbon on the side, carbon hood. This thing looks absolutely beautiful. A handful to drive. You can't see it, unfortunately, because these windows are so tinted. But if you look behind the driver and the passenger seat, you can actually see the engine cover right there. Next to it, a V8 Vantage. These things are super beautiful, and you can't tell me that they didn't get a little inspiration from the Ford Mustang of the late 60s, early 70s in that front end. Beautiful car, 5.3 litre V8, 0 to 60 in something like 5.2 seconds. This car is so elegant, so beautiful, and when you look at that interior with that piping, it's so British as well. There's nothing on the inside that looks like Mustang, that's for sure. Just lovely polished walnut varnish through there. Just really beautiful. Come around to the back, and it's just such an elegant car. I really love this era of Aston Martin. Dare I say, I actually prefer these to the newer ones. I think they're more elegant, more classy, and they knew exactly what they were and what they were trying to be. Very James Bond-ish. Really interesting spec on this WEISSACH GT3RS. The colour, first of all, kind of golf blue. I don't know if it exactly is, but very similar. Interesting, the wheels are actually colour coded. Nice bit of carbon up through here. Love that interior. Notice the blue insets through there, and then that sort of hold style seating. I don't know what the name of that fabric is, but just a beautiful looking car. The colour really suits it. And not to be outdone, you wouldn't lose this one in the crowd. Highlighter yellow Spider RS. We just looked at that GT3RS. This is the same with a drop top. An absolute animal of a car. They were going so high over sticker just because people wanted these things, because they didn't build that many of them. So once again, you got mid-engine, so you got that engine sitting underneath there, as opposed to a 911 that's got it in the back, and it's that 4-litre flat 6 again. Just absolutely wonderful little car. So this is my friend Tony, and Tony likes exclusive cars, right, Tony? So, Tony, tell us what you bought recently.
I haven't bought anything.
Oh, he did. You bought
the Ford GT?
You bought a Ford GT.
But that's not it.
It's red and white.
Yes.
And, like, you don't see many red and white Ford GTs. Wait on. There's one. Oh, there's another one. And these aren't yours either.
No. But remember, they made very few in 06. Most were in 05.
Okay. Red and white Ford GTs. They're just, everybody's got them apparently. This is pretty cool. Not one, but two red Ford GTs side by side. This one over here has had the stripe delete. compared to this one that's over here. And he's just lifting it up under there and oh my goodness, somebody's stolen your engine. What's going on back here? Yeah, that's because, well, we won't look at this one, we'll look at this one. It's got that supercharged Ford V8 there in the back. These cars are super cool, going up in value. Now, we haven't seen a crowd this big in this corner since we had the Red Bull F1 car. Everyone here is gathered to see this guy in here. This is called the SLATE. Now, what's interesting about the SLATE, it is a great philosophy of changing the way people think about cars. Now, in the past, if you wanted to buy a simple car, it didn't come with things like electric windows. It didn't come with things like stereos, carpet, those sort of things. And cars have got more and more and more expensive with more and more features. And the result is the price has gone through the roof. So what SLATE are doing are stripping it back. In fact, starting with a blank slate. So what you've got is a very simple, cost-effective vehicle. Notice there's no screens, there's no infotainment system. You just simply dock your phone in there, and now that's your music for the car. Manual seats, you notice, wind-up windows. These things start mid-20s, and some of the cool things is, see these panels? They can all be removed. You can actually build like an SUV back on it. It ends up looking like a baby Bronco. But it's a really interesting way of returning back to basics, getting the cost of vehicles back down where they used to be, and allowing somebody an option to some of the other vehicles that are out there that have become way too expensive. So obviously it is electric. There are a couple of battery options here to give you a higher range if you want. But the crowd shows that they're super interested. I think this is going to be successful because a lot of people just don't want to pay the amount of money that the cheapest cars have become. Oh, one more thing. This isn't made in India. This isn't made in China. This is made right here in the United States. So it's super cool that we've got a US built vehicle back within the reach of a lot of people. So if you want something to go to the beach, go to the dump, whatever, great little pickup to use, or turn it into the SUV if you want to carry the family around as well. All right, you're going to make a choice. Do you go with the brand new Huracan STO? Beautiful car, race bred, lightweight, air scoop on the back, big aero. Or do you go old school and go for the MERCI? What a hard choice. You know what the answer would be? Are you only going to use it on weekends? Or do you want to have some fun and take it to a track day? I think I would choose the STO. But man, there'd be something pretty cool about showing up at a car show in that. I just want to take a moment to talk about the beautiful 356s we've got here this morning. This one in grey, kind of resto modded. I love the leather straps on the hood. You've got the fuel filler on the front. Those beautiful Porsche seats with the Porsche logo actually embossed in there. Just really cool. And then if we come over this way, another one over here. This is beautiful, isn't it? Now this is the S. Notice it's got the two vents on the back. The other one over here only had one vent over there. So this is the S. Beautiful car again. Love that interior. This is obviously more original. Got that wooden rim steering wheel. Just absolutely wonderful. And if we wander up this way just a little bit past some of these 911 and Cayman up over here. Here's another one I walked past before. This one is probably my pick of the bunch. 1963 356B Super 90 Coupe. Just so original. Love the color-coded bumpers. They all have that, but they just stand out really well in this. Those original old hubcaps. But look at the interior. That houndstooth in there and that brown and tan. Just beautiful. Once again, got the two vents on the back here. And then super original clean in the back. Just a great car. Just so much fun, these old 356s. And to have three of them at the show together, that's pretty darn cool. Nice 72 C3 here, got its headlights up, looking really cool. Next to it, this thing rolled in, everybody was getting my attention because they knew this would be the sort of thing I like. Love this, little skinnies on the front, got some Hoosier drags, slicks on the back. I was gonna say drag radials, but they're not even drag radials, I think they're just full-blown slicks. Under the hood, that's pretty darn cool, isn't it? So that's running a small block Chevy, got some AFR heads on it, blower shop blower. Looks like a big Holly sitting up there. This thing was super tough when it rolled in. I wonder why they didn't put the 351 in it. I wonder why they went for the small block Chev. Both great motors. Somebody obviously had this laying around or just wanted to work on it and knew how to work on a small block Chev. So we saw this pull in the parking lot at the back, and how one of our volunteers said, "You got to come and look at this." So it's quite interesting. It's got the Jaguar emblem up there. It's called a Cougar here, and when you look under the hood, it's obviously got Jaguar parts. There's that Jaguar inline six, couple of SUs sitting up there, and then Jaguar on the steering wheel as well. This is the gentleman over here that actually owns it. And you were telling me that this vehicle basically, somebody had a body and it was rusty and they decided to build this, is that correct?
The designer is called Rick Stevens, and his father-in-law had an old Jag and it rotted out. MOT wouldn't pass, so they threw away the body, kept the suspension, transmission, rear suspension, front suspension, and then he designed a space frame chassis, which is what this is built on, and then this fiberglass body on top of it, and it hauls butt.
So it's 101. The only one they built, or did they build others after this?
No, a total of 315 were built.
Oh wow, okay.
In this country there's only 61 now, because this is 61.
Right. Hey, thank you for bringing it out. It's super interesting.
No, thank you.
Hey, I really like this. It's kind of resto modded, but not. I mean, you look under the hood. Well, it is. Let's face it. It's got a small block Chev underneath there. But it's been done in a way that just looks super clean and modern, like the fact that, notice it's got injectors actually up there. So even though it's a small block, you can run injectors into the intake manifold, and then what was the carburetor becomes a throttle body only to be able to meter the amount of air going into the engine. So lots of modern stuff on it as well. Like it's got an MSD ignition, so it still has a distributor, but the integration of the MSD with the coils built into it basically improved reliability. Nicely wrapped headers down there. I'm not quite sure why the temperature sensor doesn't have anything connected to it. Modern, look here, modern wishbones, control arms, and then the thing I really like is look at these wheels. They look like a knockoff. They're not. You can actually see the wheel studs back in there, but super clean, a little bit bigger. Love the red line on it. And then coming interior, it still looks original, except you've got those red gauges in there, which looks super cool as well. Beautiful paint on this thing. It is so shiny. This is done really tastefully. It's still got the small block Chev. Because it's injected, because it's got electronic ignition, it's going to run well, it's going to be reliable, it's not going to run rough on bad days, and it's not going to need a choke and all of those other things that come along with having a carbureted engine, but it's still got that original small block that it came with out of the factory. Super cool. Saw this Gen 6 Camaro out the back. Interesting, they put this super high-rise Holley EFI manifold on it. This is on the LT1 that the Gen 6 came with. The owner said it's got a big cam in there as well, and one day he's actually going to run a Pro Charger on there as well. And that's the right way to go, because these high-rise manifolds are good when in boosted applications, but they actually lose power, especially down low on naturally aspirated applications. They actually need a ton of revs before they start to work. The other thing that caught my eye when I showed it earlier, look how he's cut this part of the frame out through here. He's going to run a cold intake down through there, which makes sense. And it's still a bit of structure in there as well. But I'm sure this thing would be absolutely killer, but I love the way it's all been cut out underneath the hood to sit that through, because race car. So this is pretty cool. It's a little Fiat 124 R-Bar. Now the basic 124, it's basically built on the same platform as the MX-5 or the Miata. And in all honesty, in the basic version, you're probably better off with the MX-5. But when you start looking at the Abarth, then all of a sudden it starts getting some cool things. Like, for example, the black hood, which is very reminiscent of sports cars from the era. But just some of the other things, really nice seating in there. You know, nice instrumentation, a little bit of carbon fibre in there. I think it's probably a wrap, but you know, carbon fibre on the back here. But a great little engine as well, and it sounds like a little Italian sports car. We got some cool hot rods in this row on the one back. We're just going to jump and have a look. Over here, 34, very nice. This is a Tudor. What do I mean by that? Well, next to it, we have a 3-window. This is actually a 32. How do we know? See the grills flat and flush? Over here, the grill's swept out. That could be 33 or 34. I only know it's a 34 because it says it's up there. But notice how this has this extra large back seat and window on the back. Now, you can have a Tudor, which this is. You can have a 3-window coupe, which this is. Or you can actually go to a 5 window, which means that the similar design has an extra window on the back and slightly longer. So all these different variants. Over here, Model A. So this is going back to something a little earlier. This is where it all kind of began, this hot rodding era. So all of a sudden, these different generations coming over this side. We got 3 more of them lined up over here. Let's jump through and have a look. I know what this is. This is a 32. It's got a blown 383 in it. Very cool. Next one, another one. Now this is super cool. Have a look underneath there. That's actually running a Hemi, which is very cool. Dodge in that Ford. Of course, Hemis, you look back to those early days of racing, people like Keith Black building those drag Hemis, like nothing could come close. So interesting. Hemi in that guy over there, so it's got a Mopar engine, small block Chev in this one. Over to this 32, you could think if you glanced at it that it was actually running a flathead. See that head on there? Well, that's actually cosmetic only. This is running a small block Chev. You can see it's got the wide and then the 2 skinny pipes there, distributor at the back. This is purely cosmetic to give the illusion that it's actually a flathead engine. So between the group, what a great mix of hot rods. Oh, I should point this out as well, sitting over here, this Ford Courier over here as well. So very, very cool. Holy cow, this old Chevy Coupe is beautiful. Excuse me, sir, what year is this? 37. Well, that is so pretty. You got to bring it back at some stage because I want to make this thing car of the week. We used to have little Chevy Loves in Australia, and well, they didn't come with an LS and a highly high-rise manifold like this guy did. I heard this thing pull in super tough. It's got some skinnies on the front, got some bigger, looks like Mickey Thompson drag radials on the back. I love that somebody's done this to these things. Great little car, really, really cool, and I'm sure it gets up in boogies. You know, at South Sea Cars and Coffee, we always say thank you to the City of San Clemente for supporting the event, and also obviously the outlets of San Clemente, but we like to plug into other worthwhile community events as well, whether it's doing stuff around Christmas for Toys for Marines or whether it's helping out Choc. But right now there's a campaign that we are 100% behind, and that is to do with this gentleman here, Cameron, who's working on something to effectively reduce the risk of fires coming in over the back of San Clemente and engulfing the city, as we saw happen through Malibu and Altadena and those areas earlier in the year, but also to prevent the erosion of sand that we're seeing on the beach, which is doing massive destruction. So let's talk about that for a minute. So thanks for joining us each week to get your petition signed. And by the way, I'll put a link below. If you live in San Clemente and you want to sign the petition, we request that you do that because it's really worthwhile. Let's talk about what you're working on, Cameron.
Yeah, we need 7,000 signatures to qualify our initiative for the ballot in order to have everyone have a say in this matter. And what the question is shall we devote some funding to prevent wildfires citywide? We've got 5,000 acres of open space with highly flammable fuel on it.
Yep.
And it's been neglected for probably half a century.
Yep.
It's growing, and it is we are the next Pacific Palisades unless we prevent it.
Yep.
Which is very possible if we have the money. We bring in thousands of goats. They graze the hills naturally, remove the flammable fuel. We replant it with native plants. We put fire breaks in. We upgrade the OCFA firefighting ability for wildfires with helicopters and other training and equipment that they need. We also would then have money for the sand replenishment,
Yep.
which needs to happen every year, not every 5 years, not every 6 or 7 years, every year. That's the way the beaches grow, and over time we gain ground on the beach.
I mean, let's talk about a couple of things. If you've live in SoCal and you've driven up along PCH up through Malibu, and that was just part of the area that was hit earlier this year with those fires, it is apocalyptic. I couldn't believe what I saw when I drove up there. Literally pylons where there used to be houses, now there's nothing. Next to one where it's untouched. On the right hand side you can have something completely gone. On the left hand side it's untouched. Shells of Porsche 911 sitting there, where obviously there once was a garage and now it's been burnt down. It's quite scary, and that could happen so easily when we look at the amount of untouched land over the back of La Plata, up sort of the back of Talega, even sort of down next to Walmart, all the way across to the high school. All of that could be gone in a moment if something isn't done about it.
That's exactly right. Nobody thinks about it because we live in paradise and we are busy living our lives. But silently, over the decades, this flammable, non-native vegetation has just taken root over 5,000 acres in San Clemente, plus our coastal canyons.
Yep.
So the fire would start at Pendleton or would start on the other side, and if we have a red flag or windy day, that fire will just wipe the whole town out.
We'll be gone. We'll be gone.
We'll be gone.
Well, mate, thank you for coming along and supporting the show. I know you're a big supporter of the show. That's why we want to support this.
Come sign the petition.
Yep, and make sure we'll put a link below so you can get online and sign it as well. Thanks,
you.
mate. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
So this is super cool. A couple of early 90s MR2s, and I saw this one roll in. It looks really familiar, the pop-up headlights and everything, but this one really threw me when it came in, and I just spoke to the owner who's over here, who mentioned that, I said, they're not the original headlights because they look like this, and what this has is the latest Celica headlights, and then they've done some work to basically fill some metal in through here. I mean, it looks like it could have come from the factory like this. It really is super clean. Great little car. It's a shame they didn't continue it. I heard rumours they might be going to do it because, of course, they're mid-engine. So they've got a great little engine, great little weight balance. The first of the MR2s was quite boxy in its design, but a great little car. The only downside of it, the fuel tank was absolutely tiny, so you had to always refuel the thing. So same car, modifications, very, very different. Isn't that great? Just really, really good to see. All right, show me. Oh, wait on, you got to have dents before that. Of course, this was the car that was made famous by the movie Christine. I don't believe Christine came with a couple of Edelbrocks sitting on a twin carb intake manifold, which is super cool, but I love the fact that those air cleaners look like they could be original as well. What a beautiful car. Like this. This is a 66 Impala SS. How do I know it's a 66? See those one-piece taillights in there? If it was a 65, they would be across the back up here. And they actually went to round taillights again in 67 because the purists said, hey, we don't want these big taillights. Impalas have got round taillights, 3 round taillights, and they wanted to go back to it. But I love the 66 because it is sort of integrated like that, which is super cool. Then, of course, they went down into the bumpers, which look good as well, but I like the 66. Beautiful car, big car as well. 396 big block, which was what these things came with. Great reliable engine, you get big horsepower out of them, super cool. Well, that is it for another week at South OC Cars and Coffee. Thank you so much for watching. I want to do a big shout out to all of our sponsors, the Bracketeer, Wear Marketing, Maguire's, Mazda, Next Level Auto Protection, iAccident Lawyers, Go Mobile Tyre, Sierra Ineos Grenadier, European Exotic Centre, Hillbank Motor Corporation and Magnaflow Camberg. I also want to do a massive thank you to all of our volunteers. We could not do the show without them. Remember, if you want to become a volunteer, hit us up on our South OC Cars and Coffee merch Instagram page. That's where we handle all of our rostering. And while you're over there, check out some of our hats, hoodies, t-shirts, everything you can want from South OC Cars and Coffee. If you become a volunteer, you get to bring your car in early, and Ruby's Diner hooks you up with a free coffee and donut as well. A big thank you to Ruby's for doing that and feeding the masses, and also a big thank you to the outlets of San Clemente for allowing us to be here. We couldn't do the show without them. Remember, if you want to do any shopping, go to the movies, grab a coffee, come to the outlets, tell them South OC Cars and Coffee sent you. If you come to the show, please remember, respect our rules, no speeding, no revving, no burnouts. That includes on the streets of San Clemente and getting on and off those freeways as well. Well, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. We'll see you back here next week for another South OC Cars and Coffee.